Imagine a moment when humanity receives a message from the stars, a cosmic whisper confirming that we are not alone in the universe. This scenario, once confined to science fiction, is becoming increasingly plausible as our technological capabilities advance and our understanding of the cosmos expands. NASA, alongside organizations like the SETI Institute, has been setting the stage for this monumental encounter, crafting guidelines to handle contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. With thousands of exoplanets discovered, some potentially habitable, and ongoing efforts to detect signals from advanced civilizations, experts like Sylvester Kaczmarek, a former NASA consultant, suggest that we could make contact within the next decade. This possibility, though uncertain, ignites the imagination and raises profound questions about our place in the universe, driving NASA to develop meticulous protocols to ensure we are prepared for what could be the most transformative event in human history. NASA, in collaboration with other organizations like the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence (SETI) Institute, has developed guidelines and protocols for handling potential contact with extraterrestrial intelligence (ETI). While there is no single, definitive, NASA plan for extraterrestrial contact, several frameworks, policies, and considerations exist, primarily focused on detecting signals, ensuring planetary protection, and managing the societal impact of such an event. Below is a detailed overview based on available information, including historical context, current protocols, and expert opinions. 1. Overview of NASA's involvement in extraterrestrial contact. NASA's primary role in the search for extraterrestrial life is through its astrobiology programs and planetary exploration missions. However, the agency also collaborates with SETI and international organizations to address the possibility of contact with intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations. The focus is on scientific rigor, planetary protection, and managing the consequences of such a discovery. Key points. No formal global plan. As of 2025, there is no universally adopted, detailed international protocol for extraterrestrial contact. NASA and other organizations rely on guidelines like the SETI Institute's Declaration of Principles Concerning Activities Following the Detection of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, developed in 1989 and revised in 2010, and planetary protection policies. SETI's role. SETI, a non-governmental organization, leads efforts to detect extraterrestrial signals, often with NASA's historical or indirect support. NASA's involvement in SETI has diminished since the 1990s due to funding cuts, but collaboration persists. Planetary protection. NASA's Office of Safety and Mission Assurance, OSMA, also known as the Planetary Protection Office, focuses on preventing contamination of Earth by extraterrestrial life and vice versa. This is a critical component of any contact scenario. 2. SETI's post-detection protocols. The most detailed framework for handling extraterrestrial contact comes from the SETI community, specifically the International Academy of Astronautics, IAA, and SETI Institute. NASA aligns with these guidelines, which were first established in 1989 and updated in 2010. These protocols are non-binding but provide a structured approach for scientists and governments. Key steps in the SETI post-detection protocol: signal detection and verification. If a signal is detected, e.g., via radio telescopes like the Allen Telescope Array or the Very Large Array, scientists must confirm it is not from natural sources, e.g., pulsars, or human interference, e.g., satellites. The signal's properties must be inconsistent with natural sources to be considered legitimate. Multiple observatories would be engaged to verify the signal's origin. No public announcement is made until the signal is confirmed. Scientists may respond to media inquiries if information leaks prematurely. Notification of key organizations. The discoverer notifies other SETI researchers, the International Academy of Astronautics, IAA, the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, and relevant national authorities, e.g., NASA, ESA. International collaboration is emphasized to ensure transparency and scientific consensus. Data sharing and analysis. All data related to the signal is made available to the global scientific community for independent analysis. Efforts focus on deciphering the signal's content, if any, using mathematical or linguistic approaches, e.g., linkos, language designed for cosmic communication. Response decision. No response is sent until a global consensus is reached. The protocol recommends a worldwide scientific, political, and humanitarian discussion before transmitting a reply. Some scientists, like Stephen Hawking, have cautioned against responding due to potential risks from advanced civilizations. Public communication. The public is informed only after verification, with careful consideration of how the announcement might affect society. The Brookings Report, 1960, suggested that governments might withhold information to avoid panic, though this is controversial and not explicitly recommended. The nature of the announcement depends on the contact scenario, e.g., a distant signal versus a physical encounter. Limitations of the protocol. The protocol assumes contact via a distant signal, not a physical encounter or visitation. A spacecraft arriving on Earth would require a different, more immediate response, for which no formal plan exists. The protocol is voluntary and lacks enforcement mechanisms, as it depends on the cooperation of scientists and governments. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOOSA, discussed extraterrestrial contact in 1977 but reached no conclusions, and as of 2010, the UN lacks a formal response mechanism. 3. Planetary protection considerations. NASA's Planetary Protection Office plays a critical role in any contact scenario, particularly if it involves physical objects or biological entities. The focus is on preventing backward contamination, extraterrestrial life harming Earth, and forward contamination, Earth life contaminating other planets. Key planetary protection measures. Quarantine protocols. If extraterrestrial life, e.g., microbes, is detected, samples would be handled under strict quarantine, similar to the Apollo mission protocols. Contamination prevention. NASA has identified 25 knowledge gaps for handling extraterrestrial life, including how to transport it safely and prevent contamination of Earth or other planets. For example, Mars' environment contains bleach-like dust storms that could pose risks to humans or Earth ecosystems. International guidelines. The 1967 Outer Space Treaty and the Committee on Space Research, COSPAR, provide rules for planetary protection, which NASA follows. These emphasize preventing biological contamination during space missions. Challenges. Unknown risks. An alien virus or microbe could potentially wipe out Earth's biosphere, as speculated by NASA's Planetary Protection Officer, Catherine Conley. Human missions. Human astronauts are harder to sterilize than robots, increasing the risk of contamination during missions to Mars or icy moons like Europa. 4. Potential scenarios and responses. The response to extraterrestrial contact depends on the nature of the encounter. Below are the primary scenarios considered by NASA, SETI, and other experts. Scenario 1. Detection of a distant signal. Likelihood. This is the most likely scenario, as signals can travel vast distances, unlike physical spacecraft. Response. Follow the SETI post-detection protocol, verification, notification, analysis. Long-term planning for a response, as communication could take decades or centuries due to light speed limitations. For example, a signal from Alpha Centauri, 4.4 light-years away, would take nearly a decade for a round-trip conversation. Global coordination through organizations like the UN, NASA, and ESA to craft a response, if any. Example: the Arecibo Message, 1974, and Teenage Message, 2001, were symbolic attempts to send signals to potential extraterrestrial listeners, but no response has been received. Scenario 2. Physical encounter, e.g., a spacecraft. Likelihood. Considered remote due to the vast distances and physical constraints of interstellar travel. A craft traveling at half the speed of light from a planet 1,000 light-years away would take 2,000 years to reach Earth. Response. No formal protocol exists for a physical encounter, but NASA and SETI experts suggest an immediate, cautious response involving global coordination. The Galileo project, led by Avi Loeb, is designing protocols for encounters with extraterrestrial objects near Earth, such as AI-equipped probes. These would require rapid decision-making, unlike signal-based contact. Military protocols for ship-to-ship encounters on Earth could serve as a model, emphasizing caution and avoiding provocation. Challenges. A visiting civilization would likely be technologically superior, raising concerns about humanity's ability to respond effectively. Historical analogies, e.g., European colonization, suggest a significant technology gap could lead to conflict or domination. Public reaction could range from unification to panic, depending on the nature of the encounter. Scenario 3. Discovery of microbial life. Likelihood. More likely than intelligent contact, especially on moons like Europa or Enceladus, where subsurface oceans may harbor life. Response. NASA's Planetary Protection Office would enforce strict quarantine and analysis protocols to study microbes and prevent contamination. The discovery would be framed as a scientific breakthrough, with public communication managed to avoid sensationalism. Example: the Europa Clipper mission, planned for launch to Jupiter, aims to study Europa's ocean for signs of life, with protocols to avoid contamination. 5. Societal and cultural implications. The discovery of extraterrestrial life, especially intelligent life, could profoundly impact humanity. NASA and SETI consider these implications in their planning. Public reaction. The Brookings Report, 1960, warned that contact could destabilize societies, particularly if religious or cultural beliefs are challenged. More conservative groups may view contact as harmful. Public opinion varies, with some believing contact would unify humanity and others fearing conflict or panic. Science fiction, e.g., Arrival, Contact, shapes public expectations, often portraying contact as either peaceful or hostile. Political and international issues. There is no agreement on who would represent Earth in a contact scenario. The UN or a coalition of spacefaring nations, e.g., USA, China, Russia, might take the lead. Extremist groups could react negatively, potentially attacking communication infrastructure to disrupt contact. Ethical considerations. Some scientists, like Anders Sandberg and Toby Ord, argue against active messaging, METI, due to the unknown ratio of peaceful to hostile civilizations. The zoo hypothesis suggests advanced civilizations might avoid contact to let humanity develop naturally, implying we should consider similar restraint. 6. NASA's current and past efforts. NASA has historically supported SETI and extraterrestrial life research, though funding has fluctuated. Historical context. In the 1970s, NASA funded Project Cyclops to study SETI methods but later shifted to METI, messaging to extraterrestrial intelligence, with reduced funding. The Arecibo message, 1974, was a NASA-supported attempt to send a signal to the M13 globular cluster. The Voyager probes, launched 1977, carry golden records with messages for potential extraterrestrial finders. Current missions. The Kepler and Spitzer telescopes have identified thousands of exoplanets, some potentially habitable, fueling SETI's focus on these targets. The Europa Clipper mission and Cassini's study of Enceladus aim to detect microbial life, with strict planetary protection protocols. Collaborations. NASA works with SETI, ESA, and other agencies to share data and develop guidelines. For example, the Chinese FAST telescope and Australia's Parkes telescope are part of global SETI efforts. The Galileo project explores physical extraterrestrial objects near Earth, complementing NASA's efforts. 7. Expert opinions and controversies. Optimism versus caution. Seth Shostak, SETI Institute, believes contact is likely via signals and supports a measured response but warns against hasty replies. Stephen Hawking and others caution against METI, citing historical examples of technological disparities leading to conflict. Sylvester Kaczmarek, former NASA expert, predicts contact within a decade but notes the lack of a global standard for response. Skepticism. Linda Billings, NASA consultant, emphasizes that no evidence of extraterrestrial life exists, and beliefs about its prevalence are speculative. The lack of a UN response mechanism and historical failures, e.g., 1977 UN discussions, highlight the challenge of global coordination. Conspiracy theories. Claims like those from Anonymous, 2017, or Chaim Eshad, 2020, about existing alien contact lack evidence and are dismissed by NASA. Public fascination with UFOs, UAPs complicates scientific communication, as seen in recent U.S. Congress hearings. 8. Gaps and future directions. No unified plan. The absence of a global, enforceable protocol for physical contact or immediate engagement is a significant gap. Technological limitations. Current telescopes cannot detect detailed technosignatures, e.g., light pollution, chlorofluorocarbons, on exoplanets, limiting our ability to confirm intelligent life. Public engagement. Experts like Anders Sandberg advocate for public discussions before sending messages to extraterrestrials, given the potential risks. Future protocols. The Galileo project and ongoing SETI efforts aim to develop more robust protocols for near-Earth encounters, potentially involving AI-equipped probes. 9. Summary of NASA's role. NASA's plan for extraterrestrial contact is not a single document but a collection of guidelines, protocols, and collaborative efforts. Scientific verification. NASA supports SETI's post-detection protocols for signal verification and analysis. Planetary protection. The Planetary Protection Office ensures safe handling of extraterrestrial materials to prevent contamination. Global coordination. NASA would work with the UN, ESA, SETI, and other entities to manage the response, though no formal international agreement exists. Public communication. Careful messaging is emphasized to avoid panic or misinformation, guided by historical studies like the Brookings Report. Exploration missions. Ongoing missions, e.g., Europa Clipper, focus on microbial life, with protocols adaptable to intelligent contact. 10. Sources and further reading. For more details, you can explore SETI Institute, www.seti.org, NASA Planetary Protection, sma.nasa.gov, UN Office for Outer Space Affairs, www.unusa.org, International Academy of Astronautics SETI Protocols, www.iaaweb.org. The Brookings Report, 1960, available through NASA Archives or the Brookings Institution.